Today we're talking about a possible new Battlefield 6. We're also talking about Phil Spencer possibly looking forward to supporting Switch and what games and movies and TV shows we're looking forward to in 2025. All this and more. This is Nerds with Mics.
This just can't be possible.
Posh. Everything is possible. Well, anyways, hello and welcome. This is episode 169 of Nerds with Mics. I'm Travis.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Justin.
And what was the joke you were going to make earlier?
It wasn't really a joke. I was going to say 169 is just 69, but somebody's watching.
Oh, they call that a cuck. Cuck, yeah.
I think okay, so the one is for you in most hotel rooms.
Yeah. I sometimes like to touch myself with my tears. It's fine.
Oh, God. What on earth is this episode?
I don't know. But anyways, welcome to another episode. We have a packed episode today. We're going to have some discussion and some dialogue around some recent gaming news. Then we also have a couple topics that we're going to bring as well. But yeah, before we get started, though, we always like to open up the show by talking about what we have been up to for the week. And Justin, since you weren't here last week, we will let you start. So what have you been up to, good sir?
Good sir, thank you. I've been watching Severance, which I know you all talked a little bit about last week. I'd love to talk a little bit more about it this week, and honestly, every week going forward, probably for all eternity. I've been watching Severance. My favorite show of all time is Lost, right? And a show has never ever scratched that Lost itch for me until Severance. That's the closest show. Like, obviously they're about two totally different things, but just the kind of that mystery box kind of show. Nothing has come close to anything for me except for Severance. So we decided to start rewatching Lost, and God, I freaking love Lost. It is so good. I'm so glad we're rewatching it.
Are you doing regular Lost or chronological Lost?
Regular, yeah. We started chronological a while back, and we're like, we should restart watching Lost. And we actually started our rewatch a couple months ago, but it was like painfully slow, and like we weren't any sort of consistency. Well, now it's like full blown. Lost is our show. I didn't put it in the notes because I actually kind of forgot we were watching it, but we're also rewatching Veep. Which it's just a really funny show. I've said it before. I think it's probably the funniest show ever written. And I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Then on like the game front, I've been playing a lot of Arma Reforger still. That game is my addiction. Playing a lot of Marvel Rivals still. Jeff Main's Unite. And then you don't like that, Jared?
No, Jeff is just adorable. I like that.
So precious.
The best thing was with the skin they came out during Christmas, him with his little snow boots on.
Yep.
They were great.
And then I'm still playing Indiana Jones, and I have something to talk about that later with my pick of the week.
So you're jonesing for some Jones?
Jonesing for some Jones. But yeah, that's all I've pretty much been up to. I do want to say, Travis, have you played Arma Reforger yet? I know Jared has.
I played through the tutorial and I did one scenario, but I've not played it online yet. No.
Okay, we need to all get in and do a thing. I want to tell you about one thing that happened, just because I think this might sell you on the game. Okay. And that is, it's obviously like large scale warfare, kind of, right? And me and three of my friends we took a little base, and we're like, oh, we only need one more main spot to like secure the 5th place and capture the whole thing. So the 4 of us went in kind of guerrilla style in the woods, right? 2 of us perched up on the hillside, and 2 of them got down on the ground. And me and my friend, we saw 2 guys defending this base. They were both perched up on the rooftop of, I believe it's a hospital. And when they were in position on the ground, they gave us the word, and we fired the shots and killed the 2 guys on the rooftop. And we went in and took the base, secured the victory. It was like super tactical, super strategic, like really good time. So you're smiling, Travis. I think you're gonna give it a shot. Is that right?
You sound like you're describing what they did when they took down like Obama, or not Obama.
Whoa!
Sorry, not Obama. No, I did not mean that. Osama. Sorry. My bad.
Jesus, Travis, my God.
Team SEAL 6, I guess, is what they were referred to
just
as.
gained a few new listeners from the NSA tonight. God bless.
Oh no, I'm going in hot. That was an accident, I promise.
It wasn't. I've seen what he reads and writes. It's a manifesto.
Oh, that is not even funny. That is not even funny. All right. Well, anything else, or else we can go ahead and move on to Jared. Okay, Jared.
So, as Justin said, Severance has been in full swing so far. We're 2 episodes into season 2, so that has been a big part of it for me. My wife and I are still in the middle of our Friends rewatch, so that's definitely been a good time. I still can't get into Lost as...
That's not even funny. Like, not
it's
even
funny. It's funny.
Gonna pick up on that, and that's gonna get flagged. Congratulations.
It's funny. But other than that, it hasn't been a really
Didn't
crazy
he just
week.
say before he low-key likes gaslighting? That's what he said before we started recording, right? And this is
he never said that. He never said that.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
Other than that is, like I said last week, been giving a game a chance that Travis tried to talk me into, and Path of Exile 2 has still been the majority of the game I've been playing for the past week. Currently like level 40 or so. Finally beat the campaign once, so now it's time to do it all over again. But Travis, like I told you, I'm sorry that it took me so long to take you up on that, and I'm glad I'm finally playing it.
Okay. Yeah, I know we've gotten to play some together, not a ton, but we have played some together. I know we spent a little bit today fighting the last boss of Act 3, and while it was supposed to be a short time, that last boss took us, what'd you say, probably 10, 15 times?
Probably 10, 15 tries. That's probably a good guess.
Yeah.
The laser butt, dude. The laser butt.
I think what makes that fight so difficult is they have about every different type of damage, elemental damage that you could have. You have chaos, you have freeze, you have fire, you have shock. A little bit of everything for everyone.
Also realized after that fight that I was running that with negative 33% shock resistance, so that could have had something to do with. So
that'll do it. That'll do it. Anyways, well, yeah, but no, that's been fun to play, for sure. Anything else you want to add before I go?
I believe that's all for me.
Yep. So for me, Path of Exile 2, still, I said that I would have by the time of our last recording last week, which it actually paid off because Justin wasn't here to discuss The Last of Us 2. So I did not play any Last of Us 2, so I do need to finish that game. I'm getting ready to move apartments here this weekend. So I'll be busy doing all that stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to maybe do that when I get some downtime. I've also been watching Severance as well. I made it a point to watch the episode before we recorded, and I can't believe what you have just done, Jared.
That was not me.
No, I know it was. I know who it was for no reason because I didn't do anything to him. But anyways, so I also finished. We were doing Lord of the Rings watch parties, and we finished Return of the King Extended Edition, which I had.
You finally watched Return of the King?
Yes, finally watched Return of the King.
Oh my God! What'd you think?
It was great. I found out what's funny is I was talking to my friend Alex, listener of the podcast, also has a podcast of his own. He had asked me, he was like, why have you never watched it? I said, well, somebody spoiled the ending for me. He's like, well, what exactly did they tell you? I was like, well, they told me the king died at the end of the movie. He's like, well, that's a lie, right? I said, no, I've not watched it because I thought this whole time. So my life has been a lie. I see you typing, Justin. Don't even think.
I'm not typing anything.
Look at that face. But anyways, did not expect the ending that I got. The one of, I guess I could say it because the movie's been out and the book's been out forever. But I did not expect
alert
Frodo,
for anybody who has not seen Return of the King. So
I did not expect Frodo and Gandalf to go on the boat. I did not expect that. I was okay, Justin. He's definitely seen it. You've seen it. Don't even play.
No, I've only seen the first one.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just being funny.
No, I've only seen the first one.
But you've read the books?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind
then. Justin, I don't think we can be friends anymore.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But anyways, so we finished that. That was great. And then yesterday, my girlfriend and I had a very lazy morning, and we watched old Saturday morning cartoons and TV shows that we would watch as kids, and that was fun. So we watched some Ninja Turtles, some Saved by the Bell, some Scooby Doo, some Family Matters, just a whole lot of different type of shows that we would have watched when we were younger. So that was really cool. But outside of that, that's really all I've been up to. I'm trying to think if I saw any movies. Oh, I watched because I wanted to watch Sonic 3, and then I realized I'd never seen Sonic 2. So I watched Sonic 2 yesterday, and then I'll probably start Sonic 3 at some point this evening while I'm boxing up some stuff and cleaning around the house. But so pretty excited about that.
What do you
So
think of Sonic 2?
it was pretty good. I actually didn't mind it. I liked what they did with Knuckles' characters. I thought the Ezra, I can never say his name. Ezra Alba? No,
Yeah, that's right.
Ezra. Yeah, I
Idris
loved
Elba.
his Ezra Elba. I don't know, but anyways,
Still no.
yeah, but I thought him casting as that character was great. I liked the personality that they gave Knuckles. But overall, I thought it was a really good movie. I am looking forward to seeing Keanu Reeves play Shadow. I think that will be pretty neat. But outside of that, yep, that's all I've been up to. So let's go ahead and get into some recent news. We don't have a ton today, but I know one of these topics is going to get at least one of these boys on this podcast excited. Um, so Battlefield, what's your thoughts about Battlefield, gentlemen? I know Jared's probably a bigger Battlefield fan than what Justin is, I would say.
Battlefield up until this point up until 2042 is like my favorite shooter. Like
Battlefield
shooter.
3 and 4 are like peak first person shooters in my opinion.
I think 1
1 is really good. 5 was pretty good. 2042 still not. I mean, it's gotten better than what it originally came out as, but it's still
fun,
not,
but it's not Battlefield.
Yeah.
They should have called it something else.
Yeah,
I'm pumped for Battlefield. Like anytime they announce a new Battlefield, I'm pumped because just like the level of detail in those games, like is usually unmatched.
Yeah.
I am just still nervous that like what separated Battlefield and Call of Duty before, like in the 3 and 4 era and the 1 era even, was like Battlefield, while it wasn't like a tactical slow shooter, it wasn't at the speed of Call of Duty, but they've been ramping it up to kind of be like a Call of Duty competitor. And I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they would still kind of make it where it was just a little more slower, a little more tactical.
It was the nice middle ground where you weren't playing a simulator like Hell Let Loose or Squad or something like that, but you weren't playing an arcade shooter like COD. It was the nice like middle of those.
And 2042 is just straight up goofy, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the game anybody wanted.
They've rolled a lot of their decisions they made back too. So like it was like I forget what the factions were called, but now like anytime you load into a game, it's US versus Russia like it was in the past games and stuff like that. So
I also kind of hate how they pretty much just like neglected the Battlefield portal because that was by far the most interesting part of 2042. And if you go on there now, it's just like it's just like overrun with just kind of like crappy servers that don't really support, I feel like, what the vision was, which maybe I misunderstood the vision of it. But it's all now like, World War II soldiers versus future soldiers. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want to play World War II soldiers or something else. But I kind of hope they go back in time a little bit, maybe like to Vietnam again. Battlefield Vietnam was a PC exclusive game like back in the 2000s. I think that would be really cool opportunity for some pretty gritty warfare and gameplay. But while also still being kind of grounded in realism instead of, the goofy stuff. But I don't know what we're going to get. I don't think they've said, have they?
The rumor is we're going... Oh, go ahead. I don't want to steer your story. It's your story, Travis. I told you I was excited to talk about. No, you go
ahead. Go ahead. No, please. I insist. I'd rather you cover it anyways because I know you're probably the biggest fan out of all three of us.
So the rumors that we've gotten so far is that it's going to be a return to modern era Battlefield. So we're going back to modern. It's not going to be anything futuristic, nothing like that. I mean, like even Battlefield 4, if you look at it, it had a futuristic expansion. I forget what it was called, but it didn't affect the core gameplay or what it was. There have also been the rumors going around that it's going to go back to the 4 classes. So your support, recon, assault, and engineer. It's going back to that versus having 8 different people on every class that have different abilities, which I'm a big fan of. Like if it's not broke, don't try to fix it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the 4 class system with Battlefield worked out great in my opinion because it gave you enough options, but you still had to play a certain class to accomplish a certain goal. Um, Other rumor that Travis has in his notes here. Thanks for my notes, Travis.
Yeah, you're
Um,
welcome.
but the biggest thing is, if it's true, the rumors are that they're holding a lot more playtests and they're actually taking player feedback a lot more seriously this go around. Which, unfortunately, in my opinion, is one of those things that has kind of fallen to the wayside because it's how fast can we pump a game out that we know enough people are going to buy to where we make money, regardless if they like it or not. We can fix it in the long run.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that with them taking the playtest as serious as what it sounds like they are, that we get a like a honest, true, good launch for Battlefield versus what we've went through with 2042.
Yeah. And that's one thing with Battlefield is like they had a huge dud with 2042. And like I know some people hated on 5. I didn't hate 5. I thought 5 was still very much a good game. Not a great game, but a good one. But I do feel like the franchise has gone downhill. Um, that being said, they don't pump out a game every year. Like how many years has it been since 2042 came out? 2021 it looks like in the notes. So it's been 4 years, potentially 5 by the time this game actually releases. I mean, that's a significant chunk of time for them to kind of hopefully build something worth playing. So at the moment, without seeing anything, I just saw Travis's chat message. I wondered what that was. At the moment, without seeing any shred of gameplay, any press release detailing features, I am excited for it. That could easily go away at any moment, or it could, I get even more hyped. So I'm not really I'm not pessimistic about the franchise yet. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I've always liked about Battlefield versus like Call of Duty and some of the others is like, while I know that like Hell Let Loose and Arma obviously are like also realistic, out of the 2 main contenders being Battlefield and Call of Duty, that's one of the reasons that I was always drawn to Battlefield was more the realism, destructible environments, vehicles, things like that. But I feel like with 2042, like where they went so far into the future, they really kind of got away with went away from a lot of that stuff in regards of just some of the stuff that you would see. And then some of the ridiculous, like, what they call them, levelations, like when there's like a tornado and all kinds of stuff like that. Like, I forgot
I forget what it's called. The random weather
thought they
events.
Yeah, I thought they were like levelations or something like that.
Levolutions, yeah, because it's the same thing they did in 4 with like the skyscrapers falling and the bridges
exploding. Which those were okay,
like
but like a tornado was just a little absurd.
The weather, yeah.
Well, it's because the whole thing, the whole original story of there was no campaign in that game either, but the entire story of 2042 was like factions fighting over resources. And then they changed the game to Russia versus the U.S. again, but I don't feel like they could have just taken all those things out of the game because then it would just be like a very basic Battlefield game.
Yeah, that's fair. But I am excited about it. I would love to see if I could get involved in a playtest, but not really sure what that process is. I need to go see.
Are you signed up on the EA playtesting website?
I think I used to be. I need to double check and see.
It'll probably be there.
Sure.
I will sign up for that.
Are you on there
for this?
I mean, I used to have an account. I haven't. Done
okay, gotcha. And then just another story. So, anything to add about Battlefield?
When do we think it'll come out?
I think it'll be. I don't think it'll be this year. I think it will probably be fall of next year. Is what I'm gonna say.
I think we'll get it this year.
I think we'll get it in their Summer Game Fest at EA Play, and I think it'll release in November.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they've been working on it for a while.
They did the same thing with Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 got announced and then immediately released that following year. And they did a late release too. They didn't do it like August, October. They released it like middle of November.
Yeah. So, well, I'm pretty excited. Nevertheless, I'll be excited just to get some more detail and some content around what this is going to be and what this is going to look like. So, but yeah, next piece of news. So Phil Spencer, obviously Daddy Spencer from Microsoft, he said in an interview that he quote unquote is really looking forward to supporting Nintendo with Xbox games. And this comes, Microsoft supports Nintendo Switch 2 with Xbox games, praising Nintendo's innovation and Switch's success. The Nintendo Switch 2 is expected to launch sometime between April and September. What do we think if you were reading into this, right? Really looking forward to supporting Nintendo with Xbox games. What do you all think he means by this? What's your all's thoughts?
I mean, I don't think they're going to create Switch exclusive games. I think it's just going to be porting games over.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be anything special. I do wonder if they'll utilize the mouse Joy-Con to like.
Congratulations, you're getting Halo Wars 1 and 2 ported to the Switch.
Great games, though.
They are great games, but
I'm wondering if it's Game Pass or xCloud.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Or xCloud I was thinking about, because that would allow that console to play more power. I think we talked about this maybe last week or week before last, that it would open that console to be able to play some higher quality games that wouldn't normally be able to be played on the Switch if it was through xCloud as well.
Yeah. I think xCloud support would be great for, honestly, all of them. I mean, if they don't want to actually put Game Pass on these systems, I think xCloud would be perfect. But yeah, I don't know. I think at the moment, honestly, it'll just be like, oh, Halo Master Chief Collection and Sea of Thieves are launch titles for the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Maybe a Valve.
Yeah, and I think it follows that campaign that Microsoft has been going on of like, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox. Basically anything it can play like xCloud or Game Pass, like this is an Xbox. And I think, do I think they're going away from having consoles at some point? I would say there's probably at least one more console cycle life, I would say, before that happens. But with them being so invested in a lot of these softwares and stuff and picking up all these companies, I could see them just basically making everything be able to play those type of games.
Microsoft is rumored to be buying TikTok also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard that today.
I wonder if they would turn that into like a kind of almost like a Twitch almost.
What was there? They had a Twitch type service at one point. What was that
They
called?
did, and I can't remember what it was because some people left. So I think Ninja left Twitch to go do that, right? And then he didn't end up sticking around for very long. It was actually pretty cool. I used it I checked it out. It was actually pretty cool, but it didn't last very long.
Oh my
Mixer.
Yeah.
Mixer. Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Shut down in 2020.
Yeah. Justin, do you have so last week we talked about because obviously we talked about the
Slider. I just
trailer.
saw you change my name. That's funny.
It's been on there for at least 20 minutes. But anyways,
I can't get the menu to open the change. Oh, there it goes.
But anyways,
that's hilarious.
We talked about last week, since you weren't here, I wanted to open
typing.
up since we're talking about Switch. So do you have any hardware predictions based off the console reveal trailer that we got that didn't really give us much?
Honestly, no. I mean, I imagine it's going to be up there, and this is me just having a very limited knowledge on how things work. I imagine it's going to be probably on par with like
PS4.
Well, I was going to say like a Legion Go as far as like handheld hardware
maybe.
stuff goes. Yeah, like I would say that they're probably gonna have like their own proprietary tech inside, but it's gonna be kind of comparable to that. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't think a PS4 is gonna cut it. They're releasing this 5 years into the life of the Xbox and PS5. I mean, that's not gonna cut it long term.
Yeah,
So.
There's a lot of rumors that they've been working with NVIDIA on their new mobile chip that's supposed to use AI to like do a lot of upscaling and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if maybe we'll be able to get higher fidelity just based on what they've released. But I don't know if you guys follow the stock market or anything. And this is but China's made some drastic improvements with AI. And I don't know if you saw the stock market yesterday, but NVIDIA stock was down 16 or 18%.
And it's not just like NVIDIA, it's like across the board. It's just like plummeting.
because they've been able to do something that's made it much more efficient and be able to run that stuff, a lot more of the stuff actually on the device, and use smaller large language models as well. So
That's wild.
it's crazy. I know. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting for sure. But I am excited. Like, I mean, I always say that I'm not like, oh, I'm probably not going to get that. I mean, I did that with the Pro, right? Like, and then the PS5 Pro. But I got to say, though, I couldn't imagine playing Path of Exile and not a Pro. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine not playing it on my PC. Thanks, Travis.
Yeah.
Are you playing on your Pro more than your PC?
Oh, 100%. Gotcha. Mostly because, like,
he played on his Portal last night and fell asleep while we were running through a dungeon and died because he fell asleep because he was getting smacked or died because he fell asleep while he was getting smacked.
Yeah, I was standing in the middle of a mob and I fell asleep. This game has consumed my life.
That's good.
It's probably why.
How many hours do you add in now, Travis?
I don't know if I could look up. Will PlayStation tell you?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Because I have more. Somebody check Steam. The other check play.
I'll check.
Yeah, the other check place. Yeah. Please don't say it out loud. Just do it with your fingers.
No, I'm saying it out loud.
Okay. Anyways, so moving on. So we wanted to talk about this week's topics. So I brought a topic and Jared brought a topic, and I think this will probably carry us for the rest of the podcast because Justin, unless you had something you didn't jot down, but anyways, so the topics of the week. So I wanted to ask, since we're obviously in the we're in January, almost to the end of January already, unfortunately. What games, movies, and or TV shows are you most looking forward to in 2025? I put this in there hoping you all would see it ahead of time so you would be able to I don't want to hear it.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
You've got 13 hours on PC.
Okay.
You have 51.
No.
51 on PlayStation. That's
Are you serious?
That's not that bad. I have 62 in Armor Reforger.
Okay. Well.
And we've been playing those games we started around the same time, I feel like.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right. So back to the well, now I'm ashamed of myself. So back to the question at hand. So what games, movies, or TV shows are you looking forward to in 2025? I'm trying to buy you time so you can pull up a list because I know that's what you both are doing right now.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pulling up IMDb right now.
Well, I think I misread the question before. I thought it was just games. So I have games in mind. I just don't have any movies in mind. So that's my problem.
Well, I have some. So I've made a list of a bunch for me, and I'm sure a lot of these I'll probably read and you're just like, oh yeah, that one. So I could start with games.
I actually have a couple movies off the top of my head right now.
Well, let's start with. Okay, do you want to start with movies then? Let's start with movies. That's fine.
Okay. So for me, this week actually, a movie called Companion comes out with Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid, which looks pretty good. And then also Mickey 17, which is the new Robert Pattinson movie.
That's number one on my. Well, I didn't do it in an order like of importance, but that is at the top of my list. Is Mickey 17 looks really cool.
Super pumped for that one. Also, the new A24 movie with Io Adebri, Opus, looks really good. Gotcha. That's probably all I have at the moment. I'm gonna keep looking through the list, but that's probably all I feel comfortable saying right now.
All right, Jared.
So I mean, movies.
If you need, yeah.
Oh, I got a couple more.
If you need me to buy you some time, I can go through mine if you need.
No, you're good. I mean, there's not really a whole lot, at least at this moment, coming out.
I found two big ones.
I'm excited for
Jurassic World. It's a big movie. Okay.
Which I know I probably shouldn't be because I'm probably gonna be disappointed again. I'm also looking forward to The Monkey and 28 Years Later.
Yeah.
Okay.
If neither of you do either of you know what The Monkey is?
It's the Stephen King movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, based off his short story.
Yeah, so for me, I had Mickey 17. I had the new Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Ooh, that's a good call too.
I might get a lot of slack from this, but
flack,
I should say, not
there you
slack.
Go.
Yeah.
Karate
Kid Legends.
On the flag,
the new Karate Kid actually low key looks pretty good. The movie does. And then also Ballerina, which is the spinoff for John Wick. I'm pretty excited about that. 28 Years Later. I'm excited about that one. And then I'm also excited for the live action How I Train Your Dragon. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I'm excited to see that. There's a new F1 movie coming out with Brad Pitt that's an Apple TV joint. Looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to Jurassic World Rebirth. I am curious who Scarlett Johansson's character is, and also that the guy that is her co-star. It really makes me want them to be the kids from the original Jurassic Park movie, but grown up. I don't know if they've confirmed that or not, or what their characters' names is, but I think that would be really cool. Also excited for Superman. I don't know if you know that. That's coming out in July. The new Fantastic Four First Steps is out July 25th. The new Tron movie comes out October 10th. I'm pretty excited for that. And then the last one that I had was Avatar Fire and Ash, which will be the third. And I think final. I think he's doing 3. Is that right? Or is he doing 4? I've lost track.
I think he's doing 4.
But anyways, those are the ones that I'm excited about. Did y'all have any more movies to add?
I'm looking through a list here, so I'll be honest. I may have missed this. Did you say Mission Impossible?
He did.
Oh yeah, okay. I did, but that's fine. Yeah, you're good. I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, that's a big one. And then there is one that I have that I didn't realize was coming out this year. The remake of Anaconda, starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. I'm really
what?
For that.
I need that in my life.
Yeah, is that the one with Angelina Jolie's dad and Jennifer
John Voight, Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson? Yeah, man. Yeah, they're remaking
Ice-T was in the original one too, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I need that movie in my life now.
Black and Paul Rudd are remaking it. I cannot wait.
Are they going to be in it?
Yeah. It comes out at Christmas. Yeah,
that's going to be wild.
I'm gonna go Christmas morning and watch that movie.
Yeah. I also
that first movie kind of messed me up as a kid, honestly.
Yeah. I couldn't find a trailer for it, but supposedly it's releasing this year. But they're rebooting the Naked Gun franchise.
Yeah, with
Liam Neeson.
Yes, thank you.
What?
And Pamela Anderson's in it. Yeah, I wanted to find a trailer, but I could not find a trailer.
Liam Neeson, if you haven't seen it, there's a show on HBO called Life's Too Short with Warwick Davis. And Liam Neeson has a really funny episode of that.
Okay.
What's it called?
Life's Too Short. Okay. Which it's a Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant show that stars Warwick Davis. Which, if you don't know Warwick Davis, he plays Wicket the Ewok. He plays one of the goblins and one of the professors in Harry Potter. And Willow. He's Willow. So.
Oh yeah.
But it's really funny. And Liam Neeson, if you just look up like Liam Neeson Life's Too Short, like it's worth watching. Yeah, it's so good.
All right, Jared, any more movies to add before we move to games?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
And if I think of something, I'll chime in when we get to.
Does either one of you want to do games? You want me to start my list and go down?
I know what games I'm excited for.
Yeah.
At least like
all right.
A few of the ones we know about right now. So Civ 7, which I know you and I have talked about, Travis. I'm very excited for Civ 7 as long as it's closer to Civ 5 than it is to Civ 6 in the way it plays. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That is a hill that I am willing to die on. Civ 5 is by far the superior civilization game. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm still a sucker for Assassin's Creed games, even though it's burned me a few times. I'm still going to buy it and still going to play it. And then Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is actually a little teaser for what we're looking forward to. But that comes out next week, actually next Tuesday, I believe. And then Avowed, which hopefully I don't get burned on Avowed, but so far from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. So.
Looks awesome.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Justin?
Yeah. So the big one, I think it's probably on all of our lists, is probably Grand Theft Auto 6. Really pumped for that one. That's kind of a cheat for me to even say that, but I'm going to say it.
I'm worried. Like not being on PC delayed? At launch worries me, and also yes, I do feel like it's going to be delayed.
Don't put that in the universe, all right? But
I will tell you when GTA 6 drops, I will be glad that I have a PlayStation Pro.
Yeah, exactly.
That is for sure.
So I obviously all the ones Jared said I'm excited for as well, but also Mafia: The Old Country.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, really pumped for that one. And then there's a game coming out called The Precinct, which is kind of like in the vein of like GTA 2, like the overhead style type game, but you're a police officer instead. I played the demo for it during Steam Fest last year. It was really fun. Avowed, which you mentioned that one. And then had one. Oh, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. That's
okay.
Crazy excited for that one.
Okay,
I'm sure we've talked about this before. Are you a Civilization guy, Justin?
Yeah, I'm really excited for Civ.
Okay.
I'll tell you, Jared, do you? Because I don't think Justin and his wife play board games, but do you and your wife play board games, Jared?
Not really, not a lot. I mean, we will if we have people over, stuff like that. But
well, the problem is you need to find some co-op board games. I was going to tell you need to play Seven Wonders Duel. It's a 2-player game, but you play through the 3 different ages, and you should definitely check it out. If you're into Civ, think about as if Civ was a board game, and that's kind of what it is. Seven Wonders, the regular version, is a much larger game, and it's meant for more than 2. But if you just want to get a good game for you and Maddie to play, and you can get quick matches in, or like maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and it has to do with history. The whole concept is you're trying to build the 7 wonders, and whoever gets the most points along the way wins. But you should definitely check it out. But anyways, so for me, I actually had a couple games on my list that you all didn't have, so I'm just going to read my list in its entirety. So Monster Hunter Wilds comes out in February. I've never really gotten super into a Monster Hunter game, but I am pretty excited about that because they're really great co-op experiences. Split Fiction, which is another co-op game I'm looking forward to. That one is from the developers that brought us It Takes Two. The biggest difference between it is you're going through different worlds. One of your characters is from like a cyberpunk sci-fi world, and the other one's from like a fantasy world. And as you're going throughout the stages, those could constantly be switching, which is really cool to see, like sci-fi and fantasy mixed together, which is cool. I honestly have wrote Assassin's Creed games off for a while, but I am really excited about Assassin's Creed Shadow, just because I think the setting and environment is just drastically different than what we've seen in quite some time. And I'm pretty excited about the whole samurai aspect of the game. I'm pretty excited about that. I know that game has been in a lot of hot water with Japan, so much so that they're requiring them to censor a lot of the game when it releases over there, like no dismemberment and that type of stuff. In a game I'm surprised neither one of you mentioned is South of Midnight. If you all remember that game.
Yeah.
That one looks pretty fun. Neither one of you also mentioned Fable, which I was surprised by.
Is it coming this year? Do we know?
I think they said it's supposed to. I think. And then also, supposedly this year is Ghost of Yote. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then I also had Mafia Old Country. And then a pick that neither one of you have probably ever picked, but a franchise that I used to love a long time on original Xbox was the Ninja Gaiden games.
Oh, yeah.
They are releasing a Ninja Gaiden 4. They actually just released a remastered in Unreal 5 engine, Ninja Gaiden Black 2. I really want to get it on PlayStation. We need to see if we can holler for a review copy of that. But anyways, so those are the games that I'm most looking forward to. And then I doubt either one of you, do either one of you have some TV shows you're looking forward to? I have a list.
I have a couple.
Okay, go ahead.
Welcome to Derry, which is the It prequel series on HBO. And then
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, which is another Game of Thrones spin-off show. And then probably my most anticipated is going to be Dexter Resurrection, which they just started filming, but it comes out this summer.
Gotcha. Justin, if you could check chat, please. So what about you, Jared?
I'm looking through TV shows right now. I really don't know of many that are coming. Like, if this question would have been asked 2 weeks ago, definitely yes, would have said Severance. But as of right now, there's not a lot that I'm...
Yeah, I can go through my list.
Yeah, go through yours and let me see if I can find anything.
Okay, yeah. So for me, obviously, Last of Us Season 2. We're getting that sometime in April. Obviously, Severance, because that's currently happening. So I'm looking to see how that finishes out.
I thought we meant brand new shows. My bad. Obviously, I'm excited for Last of Us as well.
Ooh, yeah, I know. I just meant returning shows, just anything that's going to be new that we're going to be able to watch this year. Also excited for Yellow Jackets Season 2, which
3.
I know you're a Yellow Jackets. Is it 3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. I missed the whole second season then, I guess.
Are you serious? You didn't watch the second season?
I guess I didn't. Also a show that I'm surprised that you didn't say. Have you watched any of the White Lotus?
No. I want to, but no.
White Lotus is good, and Season 3, your boy's in it.
Season 4. right? Or is it
Is
season
it
3?
season 4? I think it's season 3.
You missed
I
another whole
watched all
season,
of them.
didn't you?
No, I don't think so. I think there is 3 seasons. I think you're also gaslighting me. Anyways,
I really think that there's 4, but
I'm gonna botch his name. Walton Goggins. Did I say it right?
Walton
Yeah,
Goggins.
he's in the new season. He's the one that runs the hotel, I think. Pretty excited about that.
What? I don't think he runs the hotel. I watched the trailer. It looked like he's just a guest.
Okay, maybe he is. I don't know. I'm getting all the facts wrong.
No, you're right. This is the 3rd season. Sorry.
Okay. I'm also looking forward to a new season of Reacher. If you haven't watched Reacher, great show. Jared, you've watched Reacher, right?
I love Reacher. My wife and I both love Reacher.
Yeah. And Justin, a show that I thought you would be interested in. I don't know if you've watched the trailer for it or not. But so last time you were on, you had broke my heart and told me, well, don't get too attached to the franchise. It's already been canceled.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, there's a new show coming out on Apple TV Plus airing in March. I know you're also a Seth Rogen fan, I think.
Oh, yeah, the studio.
But there's the studio, which is kind of in a similar vein about like a studio and all that type of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, looking forward to Andor season 2 because Andor is awesome. They're also coming out with an Alien Earth show on FX.
Noah Hawley is making that from Fargo.
I know. I'm excited about that. And then I don't know if it's been confirmed it's coming in 2025. I would hope so, as long as it's been taking. But Stranger Things season 5, the final season,
I hope so,
should be out. They're going to be like 35 by the time the show comes out, and they're not even going to look the same.
No.
But anyways, so Jared, did any TV shows pop up?
Hearing your list, like, yes, there's definitely a few. And like, Welcome to Derry. Obviously, would love another season of Stranger Things.
I didn't know anything about that show, Welcome to Derry. I got to watch the trailer for it.
Really, I mean, everyone you all mentioned there was a good bit of stuff in there that I am looking forward to now that you all have said it, and I don't even think I realized half of it was coming out. The only one I didn't hear you all mention is I'm very hopeful for the Game of Thrones prequel that's supposed to be coming out this year, the A Night of Seven Kingdoms.
I said that one.
Did you? Well,
yeah.
I guess I was. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I said it's fine.
I'm leaving.
You said it was a Game of Thrones prequel?
Yep. I thought it was just a spinoff.
Prequel.
Well, what is House of Dragons if that's not a prequel?
It's also a prequel.
I mean, you have an entire history of.
Okay. Justin, I'm really surprised you mentioned that one because you watched House of Dragons, but you did not watch Game of Thrones?
I've watched the first season and a half of Game of Thrones.
Okay, got you. It does get much better. Just the last season's not the best.
I'm reading the book. I just haven't watched the show.
Oh, okay.
The books,
perfect.
I should say.
Oh, now have either of you, Jared? No, Jared hasn't finished it yet. But have you started Silo, Justin? Justin, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. No, I have not.
Are you okay? Why
Am I what?
Are
you going to watch it?
Yeah.
But have you even started it? You haven't, right?
Yeah, I started last year when it came on. I just watched the first couple episodes and then stopped. I'll pick it back up at some point.
I mean, he has started it, so
I did start it. Yeah.
Well, anyways, I just downloaded all the audiobooks. I'm going to start those. But
I didn't know those were books.
Yeah, they exist on that place that you have seen content at that I sometimes frequently upload. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know either. Anyways, moving on. So Jared, you have a topic for us that I'm also pretty excited about. I didn't read it until just now, but I do like this question. So go ahead.
I don't even see it on here. Oh, I see it now.
Wow, what a son.
Well, you could have just waited and I would have read it for you. You didn't have to go looking for it.
He didn't trust you. That's the problem. He didn't trust what you're saying.
So my question for you all is, do you think that open world games are becoming too prevalent? And do you miss some more like linear, like just story driven games that you don't have to go explore the world? You can just get stuck into the story.
I feel like we've talked about this before you came on this podcast, but it's been a really long time. I do love a good linear single player story game. I love a game that can strike a happy balance. Like, I think one of the games that's done it the best is Uncharted, because some of those environments that will kind of open up, but it's linear enough that I don't feel it's like a Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what I mean?
Where my problem stems from it is, like, look at MW3. I'm not sure if you played the campaign for MW3, but there were portions of the campaign there where you went from a linear, like, classic COD just campaign mission to it just drops you into a war zone map, and it's go here, blow up this thing, go there, do this thing, stuff like that. And I don't get me wrong, I love open world games like Red Dead Redemption, GTA, like fantastic games. It's just not everything needs to have an open world aspect to it. Like I'm like you, Travis. I enjoy a good linear story driven game that I don't have to go spend 15 minutes going somewhere to get there to talk to a person.
Yeah, and I think too. I'll say this, and I'll let Justin share his thoughts. I think the thing about open world game is it's easy for them to not have a story that's super focused if there's so many other things that you can be doing. I think if you're going to have a game that's linear, your story needs to be strong, right? When I think about a mostly a mostly linear game with a little bit of open world, is I think about the new God of War games. I think those do a pretty good job of, yeah, there's some open world elements to it, but for the most part, I feel like you're constantly being driven forward, so you know what you're doing. My problem is, especially, and I think the reason we talked about this is my problem with open world games, especially as an aging gamer, is I mean, because I'll be 41 in March, is sometimes I need to get in and get out, right? So if I drop into an open world game and I want to progress in the story, like I may spend 30 minutes to an hour doing something that's not even related to the actual campaign itself. You know what I mean? So for me, I prefer more environments. Now I will say I prefer more open world co-op experiences, but if I'm playing solo dolo, I prefer a more linear experience, if that makes sense. Justin?
Yeah, so I mean honestly it's going to be kind of game dependent. So like Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 are pretty linear, but they don't feel closed off, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is extremely linear, whereas Rebirth is extremely open. I really just think it kind of depends on the game and what. I guess to answer your question, yes, there are too many open world games. Some games just do it because what on earth are you writing in the chat?
It's
Some
for Jared.
games.
He'll know what it means.
Okay, gotcha. Some games just do it to. I think just because they can, they don't really need it. I kind of feel like Star Wars Outlaws probably fits into that camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think games kind of like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a great example of a game that like isn't truly open world, but it doesn't feel closed off and linear either. You're very much following a storyline, but you're kind of free to look around like these areas. It's not a huge open world, but it's like an open city, I guess. And then you go from city to city. So I think those are way more effective. And that's kind of how 7 Rebirth is. There's like a big open area, but then like the other areas are kind of open to like to kind of do things. But yeah, I do kind of think some games just kind of overdo it with that.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think that's well said. I will say, just based on so Jared, did you have anything else open world? Because I do have another question about a point that you brought up earlier about Indiana Jones, and it's also another question for discussion.
No,
Jared, anything you wanted to add? Okay, so I was listening to another podcast today, the Testing Room. I mentioned it before. A few of my buddies recorded, and he brought up they brought up the question. Does forced stealth missions ruin an experience for you guys?
It can if it's the stealth is done poorly.
If it's done wrong, yes, but I'm going to tell you right now, if it's done like the Clear House mission from Modern Warfare 2019, I'm perfectly okay with a forced stealth mission.
Yeah, and I think to their point, because they were bringing up, Justin, how much of Indiana Jones have you played? Have you beat it or no? I can't remember
like
what you said.
right there.
So I guess there's a couple. I guess there's a couple of forced stealth missions in Indiana Jones. It's actually the conversation they were talking about, and they said, a lot of times, like what happens is if you alert someone, it like alerts the entire camp, and it's pretty much like you failed because you really can't survive once everybody's alerted. I guess that was my question: is if you were doing forced missions, like if you're able to at least gun yourself out of the situation and hide and reset, is that okay for stealth, or is it pretty much like for stealth that if you're seen, then it just ended the game immediately? Is that what you can't tolerate?
I don't like that because like that's not how life is. Like if Joel in The Last of Us was sneaking through a place and got caught, it wouldn't just restart for him. He'd have to improvise, and that's what I prefer.
Yeah, I honestly still to this day don't know if anybody has done stealth better than Splinter Cell, personally. That might be a bold take. Maybe Metal Gear Solid. Some of the Metal Gear
Oh,
Solid games are
Yeah.
pretty good as well. I would venture to say that 5 was pretty strong for stealth as
Yep.
well. And then also, but I felt like some failed stealth stuff in Death Stranding was pretty punishing, I would think. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I was just curious about that. All right. Well, Jared, what about you? I don't know if you gave us a response. Did you give us an answer?
I mean, it doesn't, as long as it's done correctly, it doesn't bother me too much, but I'm kind of in the same realm of thinking as Justin is. I don't think it should be like, oh, you got spotted, you lose, restart. I definitely think it should be one of those things of figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, like if it's like Assassin's Creed does it or Cyberpunk where you get caught and you kind of just have to fight your way out of it, that I'm okay with. But not
At least
just
give
the,
me a chance to survive. Like, don't just like make me
yeah,
restart
either I
back where I
survive or
was.
I don't. Right?
Yeah, because I know with Outlaws that was a big thing in the beginning, is those forced stealth missions that if you got seen, even though I had a blaster in my pocket that I could use to stun enemies, you're gonna make me force myself into a stealth mission and not allow me to use my pistol that has a stun feature. Like, that to me is just crazy. You know what I mean? But they since then have updated it to make the stealth a lot better. And I think there's some missions that they had with stealth that like you can just go through guns blazing now if you want. So they have made some updates along the way, and I haven't revisited since they did that. Justin, did you actually end up finishing that game?
which game? Outlaws?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I beat that one. I'm working
Okay.
through the DLC right now, the Lando DLC.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Anything have any other questions or topics to pose before we move into what we're going to be looking forward to? Nope. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into looking ahead and some of the things that we're looking the most forward to. Jared, we'll go ahead and start with you, good sir.
So for me, big thing I'm looking forward to, like I said, releases next Tuesday, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which Travis, I'm not sure if you've played it. Sounded like whenever I mentioned it that Justin had, but
I've played it. I've dabbled in it, but I have not played that much of it. No.
I am very excited for that game. If it comes anywhere close to as good as what I felt like the first one was, I'm all here for it. They could honestly just remaster that game, charge me $60 for it again, and I would happily play it. It's just
Yeah.
so good. But that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay. All right, Justin. What about you? I have not even thought about the second thing that you're about to mention, and I'm excited. I hope you have some details about it.
Yeah, so beating Indiana Jones, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute with my pick
Okay.
of the week,
Okay.
and Mythic Quest Season 4.
How close are you to finishing Indiana Jones though, Justin? You have it in your notes here. You just didn't.
Very close.
And
So close.
So close.
but what's
That's
that?
what she said.
Thank you, Travis.
Anyway, Mythic Quest Season 4 comes out, I think, tomorrow, the 29th.
No way.
Yeah. So I really enjoy that show. I feel like Season 1 and 2 are pretty strong. I actually have a hard time remembering what happened in Season 3, but the reviews so far for Season 4 have been very positive, so I'm pumped.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm
Let's
really
go
excited
indeed.
about that. Let's go. So for me, looking forward to getting my schedule, my surgery scheduled, and getting on the other side of the issues I've been having with my ear, ready for that to be just done and in the past. I'm looking forward to warmer weather. Today it was, I don't know if you guys are still suffering from cold weather. Today it was actually 55 and sunny here, and I actually took a nice little walk today. So I'm excited for longer days and warmer weather. What's the weather been like there recently? Is it still in the 30s?
40s today.
Yeah, it felt pretty
Huh.
good outside today, comparatively.
Is snow still melting for you guys?
Yeah, my drivew's still ice. My
Yeah,
yard's
it's
still
just
snow and ice.
piles of ice now where it melted, froze, melted, froze, melted, froze. But
Oh wow. Okay. But outside of that, I think I am excited. I am looking forward to finishing The Last of Us 2, which I need to do if I could peel myself away from Path of Exile. And
you
I'm also
can't.
excited. I'm also excited to move into my new apartment this weekend. But I will also be excited to be on the other side of that because nobody likes moving. Jared, you
No,
said You said you were coming down to help me move, right? Isn't that what you
I mean,
said?
listen. I'll do it. You need help. You just let me know when.
The fact you haven't come down to visit me, I don't think you're going to come down to help me move. So,
To be fair,
here we go.
I have
Here
no
we go.
argument. I'm an awful
Yeah,
person.
that goes to you too, Justin. You're not out of this. Anyways, we should. I tell you what we should do.
Listen, I'm just
we
saying
should have a
we
Comic-Con
might.
down here. You guys could come to. They do
Listen,
Dragon Con down here, and it's a big old.
Listen, you meet us in Lexington, we'll go to that one, and then we'll come down there for that one. I'm volunteering Justin for this, of course, so I assume he'll go to that
All
one.
I ask is if we can actually manage to go to Lexington for Comic-Con, can we also fit into that trip touring some distilleries? That's all I want to
Yes.
That'd be good.
Okay, perfect. All right. So with that being said, it is time to get into our pick of the weeks.
Wait,
so,
Travis, you skipped a section.
He did?
What do you mean?
You didn't put it in the notes. Are you not going to make Justin pick a number this week since I had to pick 2 last week?
Oh, you want to do a mystery question of the
All
week?
right.
Yeah, I had to pick 2. Justin's got to pick 1.
That is true. All right, hold on. All right, Justin, let's keep these all. Let's try to keep these all video game related.
Don't pick number 10 is what I found out last week. So don't pick 10.
I'm picking 10.
All right. Okay. No, it wasn't. It wasn't 10. It was. No, the question. I didn't even tell you what the question was last week, did I? It was what video game character do you have a crush on the most?
Right, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, he is. He is cute. No, pick a number between. We'll say between 10 and 50.
41.
Okay. Oh God, these are podcasting topics. I don't know if we want to ask this question. No, we don't want to do that. Let that is not that.
Read it.
It's what do you think the effects of COVID-19 epidemic had on the gaming industry?
All right, let's talk about it. Let's dive in.
I'm just saying that gives off the same energy as when you asked what our topics were going to be, and I just responded the socioeconomic climate.
Yeah, I know. All right, so we'll do 41 on the other list. What do you think has had the biggest influence on pop culture in the last decade?
Probably social media.
Social media, yeah.
Social media for sure. That almost isn't even fair. Oh, here we go. Never mind. I found a different list. Okay. I have so many lists. All right, this one's good though. Are there any games?
A list and a manifesto? This is getting crazy.
Oh my God. All right. So are there any games, and this is a good time for us to tell on ourselves, are there any games that you're really bad at? That you've played that maybe you
Valorant.
didn't go back. Okay.
You're bad at Valorant?
Yeah.
Yes. I can play any other shooter and be like, okay, I feel like I'm getting better at this, but Valorant is not that shooter.
Interesting.
So mine is any game in the vein of Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, those type of hero shooters where you have classes and stuff. I am not good at any of those.
Probably like the Souls games. I'm really bad at those. Like
Kind of guess. You probably weren't that good at SOCOM when it was out either, so.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Now I fixed that problem.
Can't believe he said that.
I know. Yeah, he's gone. He's done. But
he's out of here. We do have to get his answer. So
he just begged and pleaded, so he brought him back in.
Yeah. So so now that we know it's not SOCOM, oh gosh, you changed your name to Bad at SOCOM.
How is he changing my name? How do you do that?
Don't worry about it.
We'll tell you later.
No, we don't need to tell him, Travis.
All right, Jared. So what game are you really bad at? Did you say?
Valorant.
Oh, Valorant. Is there anything else? That you were so quick at Valorant. That's why I was
I'm
surprised.
off with that game. I mean Valorant and that's a good one. Okay. I wonder how that would announce me entering the call as my question.
Let's focus
Valorant
up. We
is
gotta wrap
definitely
this up.
Valorant is the one I'm bad at. There's like I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm great at every other game I've played, but that's like the first one that comes to mind. So,
all right, Jared, between 10 and 50, let's each do one. How about that? Go ahead.
10 and 50?
Between 10 and 50, yeah.
17.
have you ever religiously watched like a Twitch stream? Like, is there anybody that you followed that you like would regularly watch their videos? I know several people that like religiously watch like people that play like WoW and like
I think
Justin
I was gonna
Justin
think one.
Reno.
Yep.
I've seen him watch Twitch religiously and like stuff like that. I've never been one of those people unless I'm like supporting somebody I know. I never typically watch Twitch. But what about you?
Yeah. I've tried to get into watching people on Twitch before, and like if there's a new game that's out and there's not a lot of good content on YouTube yet, I will. Um, but same as you, Travis, unless I'm really trying to support somebody that I know or
Yeah.
something like that, it's
The
one of those
only
things I can't get into.
The only other reason I would ever watch Twitch is if there's a game that I'm on the fence about getting because I'm not sure how it plays or what it looks like. Or I'll sometimes watch somebody stream for the game itself, but not the person, just to see. Because sometimes you watch like YouTube videos and they show you clips and highlights and stuff like that. But if I want to watch somebody play the game in real time and just see how that game plays and how it reacts and stuff like that, then I'll look up a game title on Twitch and I'll watch a couple streams where they're doing it. But that's about it. What about you, Justin?
I typically don't ever watch like a streamer. I will watch a game, and I usually
Yeah.
do it with the sound off because I just don't want to hear it. But yeah, I'm not big in like following content creators.
Yeah, I know that there's been a few games that's came out where they'll do some stuff where they'll give away some in-game items if you go
Yeah.
and watch people stream that game. I've only ever done that once. I can't remember what game it was for. I want to say it was maybe for Final Fantasy 14, possibly. I can't remember. But I got a couple in-game items doing it that way. So for me, I'm gonna pick 32. Um, have you ever wanted to live in a world from a game? If so, which one and why? That's similar to a question I think we got last week, and I
I
said
think
definitely not The
so.
Last of Us. Um, for me, man, I'm trying to think a video game world that I would live in. I would have to say probably. I feel like the worlds at Uncharted are always pretty captivating, so I would probably have to say Uncharted.
That's just our world.
Yeah. So, no, honestly, the world of Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I would say that. That's a good one. What about you, Justin? Did I steal
That,
your answer?
no, I didn't have an answer, and I still don't. That's tough. That is
The
really
Last of
tough.
Us. You love the chaos.
Probably wherever Elden Ring is set. I forget the name of that place. Just seems like good vibes. No, I'm kidding. That'd be miserable.
What about Elden Ring?
Yeah, I don't know. That's really
Fallout?
tough. I mean, it probably no. Maybe like Skyrim or something, but
Yeah. And Jared's really just trying to
I,
research to come up with an answer.
no, like I was over here thinking, like probably Pokemon would be cool.
oh god, that's such
Like
a good one.
the world of
What
Pokemon
about
would be
Breath of the
cool.
Wild?
So I just before anything, I just want to mention. So I'm going through this list of like video game like people's responses to video game worlds they would want to live in, just to get some ideas. And this guy says the island resort in Dead or Alive, or the world of extreme beach volleyball.
Oh, Dead or Alive beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
That's funny.
That's a good one. All right. So, all right. Well, now that you've made me circle back around for that missed section, I do appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get into picks of the week. And Justin, I think we were starting with you. So,
Okay, I see someone else added a note to my thing. That's pretty cool. Thank you for that. So
Welcome.
as you know, I do some of my gaming on a Steam Deck, and while I think it is a really good handheld, it does have its limitations. And one of those being that, like, if I have Xbox Game Pass, I can't really play Xbox games on there. And in the past, there's been ways to play like Xbox games over the cloud using like xCloud and the Edge browser.
but not all
Uh,
games are supported that way, obviously.
yeah, and I actually have never really had good luck with cloud streaming or remote play streaming. Sometimes remote play streaming will work, but it's still not ideal. But I was on Reddit and people were talking about this XB Play app on Steam, and it was like $6.99. I was like, I'll pick it up, I'll try it. So I get it, I log in, and pretty much the entire Xbox game library is available under remote play. games that I've purchased are available from Xbox on Remote Play, and I boot up Indiana Jones, and I kid you not, it's as if I'm playing it from the Steam Deck or from the console. There's zero latency, zero lag.
It's streaming it through xCloud, I assume?
Yeah.
Or from your console?
From X. I don't have a console. I have a PC, but not a console. But I mean, there's absolutely zero hiccups whatsoever. It just, I don't know how they did it. It's some rebuilt infrastructure with like the networking of it. And like, it runs perfectly. Now, I don't know if that's going to work for everybody, but it's been a true game changer for me this last week where I've been able to just kick back and play Indiana Jones on my couch over my Wi-Fi. And, you know, it's perfect. Yeah. So for $6.99, I highly recommend it if you're looking into some streaming. Like I said, it is a Steam app as well. So like, it's also, I believe, a mobile app for your phone as well. But and it has touch controls as well if you decide to play that way.
Yeah, they have another third-party app that is not the PS Remote Play app that you might have better luck with called Mirror Play. That and it may be by the same. Yeah, I think you can also download it on Steam Deck, but you can also put it on your iPad. You have an iPad, yeah?
Yeah.
And then play with a PlayStation controller that way. But we could talk about that offline because I did do a couple things to make my Remote Play experience much better. So we talk about that. All right, Jared, over to you. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. You had to beat me to it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, you beat me to it last week, so it's only fair. It's been, like I said, I think it was my pick of the week last week as well, but Path of Exile 2 is still my pick of the week. It has been fantastic so far. I've only gotten to play a little bit with Travis, but...
We should stream some, for real.
We should. It would be... I really wish we would have been streaming during that boss fight, because I was getting a little loud.
Yeah, he was.
So angry, though. But there's so much to do, so many classes. The game is in early access, and it took me 14 hours to get through the campaign the first time, and now I'm playing through it on what they call cruel difficulty, and that's not even the full game yet. Super excited to see where it goes. It's so far,
we're technically only playing halfway through the story because we're playing to the end of Act 3, and there'll be 6 acts at the full release.
And that's not counting expansions they do and stuff like that, which if what the other Justin we know was telling me the other day was what actually happens, like all the expansions, everything are going to be completely free after this, so anything they come out with while
they're adding to it. I think they're adding another 6 classes, I think, too.
Yeah, like you can look at your skill tree
think about.
And everything else, and it says coming soon on a lot of the stuff. So,
yeah, that's good. So for me, I'm not gonna pick. I mean, I was gonna pick Path of Exile, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna pick Severance because nobody picked it. This season so far is starting off pretty strong. To Justin's point, not to rip off what he said, but it is a fair point. Like, there's very few shows that give you that same, like, you kind of have this mystery of like you don't know what's going on, kind of like Lost, and you're just, Severance does scratch that itch, so to speak, and it's been very good so far. And I have actually been really enjoying like the short little things after the credits. Have you all been watching those after the episodes?
Yes.
Yeah, so those are pretty cool. And also, Justin, we didn't even talk about the new intro this week.
I know, it's awesome. Very unsettling too, just like all the others.
Especially the balloon. The balloon freaked me out the most, I think, with the face on it.
I think the one that got me the most was at the very end of it when it pans to like the back of his head and it's him coming out of the back of his head.
Yeah, it's super weird. But anyways, yeah, so Severance for me, do we know how many episodes we're getting? Are we getting 8 or 10? Do we know?
I think 10.
Okay. And it still blows my mind that this is a Ben Stiller joint. Like, I think about it and I just randomly remember, I'm like, I can't believe Ben Stiller's doing this show. It makes me want him to do other things, honestly.
He didn't create it. He just kind of made it happen with his influence.
Yeah. But he's also he's director.
He's directed episodes as well.
Yeah, but it's not his story. But
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I think that does it. Does anybody have anything else to add before we peace out this joint?
Nope.
Well, once again, we want to thank you for listening to episode 169 of Nerds with Mics. We appreciate you listening and also watching. Please make sure that you comment below on the video. We'd love to interact with people. We would love to get some questions, comments, debates around some of our conversations. I'd love to get your thoughts as well. So make sure you do that. And also like, subscribe, hit that bell for new episodes, and more importantly, share us with your friends. Until next time, peace. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Nerds with Mics. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into all things nerdy, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please make sure not to forget to leave us a review wherever you listen or watch. Your feedback always helps us grow. And if you know a fellow nerd that would love the show, share it with them. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay awesome, and keep those mics on.